It's Friday, and I have no idea why on a Friday I'm feeling this, I don't know, personal responsibility, changing lives. As you guys know, like we talk a lot about changing lives. That is our purpose. That's the calling for us as an organization, that when we get out of bed every day, the entirety of what we do is all surrounding changing lives. Changing lives. We change lives so many different ways, and every one of us has a different way of thinking about what that might look like to us. But in the end, it's changing lives. And it has me thinking about this idea of, well, like, what does it mean to change lives? And can someone else really change my life? Or is it up to me to change my life? And I think in the end, the answer is yes. In the end, the answer is yes. But here's what I can tell you. I know that somebody can do something for me all that they want, and unless I receive it, I won't have it. And I guess it is possible that without anybody's help, that I could go and do all of these things and have a life-changing moment. But where we see it greatest is when two entities come together and they have an impact, they partner to change lives. And to change is to do things differently to achieve a different result, right? That's the change that I think about. And we start talking about the change of life. Gosh, there's so many different ways that we can do this, right? Like if I'm going to change, that means I'm going to have to probably start doing things differently. I'm probably going to need to start hearing things and processing things differently. I'm probably going to, maybe I'm going to need to get up at a different time. Maybe I need to go to bed at a different time. Maybe I'm going to need to respond to somebody's actions differently. Maybe I'm going to have to change my diet or my performance habits or my, like, fill in the blank. But in the end, you can't have change without change in behavior, actions, etc. And here's the thing. It's nobody's responsibility to make those changes but me. It is my job. Teresa can hold me accountable. Teresa can give me best practices. Teresa can love me both through hugs and ass kickings. But in the end, if I don't change, I will not have a change in my life. It becomes the personal responsibility to do things differently. And let's get real for just 1 second. I'm not suggesting that it's easy. In fact, I'm actually saying the opposite. I'm actually saying it's probably one of the hardest things you'll ever do, because we've talked about crabs, right? Like we talk about the people, but here's an interesting one. Don't we all have people who sit in the cheap seats, and yet they have these really big impacts on our opinions? Like, it's called being in the cheap seats, but having a really expensive input in your brain. It would be really, really hard to go out and say, hey, listen, I'm going to let the people in the cheap seats have the cheap opinions, and then I'm going to go out and find people who have really expensive opinions and let them have a more expensive seat in my brain. Those are the people we talk about, like, hey, if you're going to pick people in your corner, they've got to be people that have done it before. You do not want to go to somebody who's continually failed in the area that you want to succeed and see if you can get them to help you achieve. It doesn't work that way. When we have the lack of personal responsibilities, then we find excuses throughout our lives as to why things didn't change, why we didn't get the outcome that we really, really wanted. So here's the culmination of all of this stuff. Changing in behavior, changing of people, getting clear on what it is that you want to achieve, leaning into those things that are challenging. It's okay. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to do the hard work. Leaning into finding people who are amazing that you can have in your world that can help lift you up and help you have a life-changing moment. Your partners in crime. Here's the culmination of all of that, because here's what I see way too much. I see people saying, gosh, I don't know, like why me? Not like, why me, but like, I don't know. Like, why would they choose me? Why would that guy or girl choose me? I'm really not that worthy, right? Should I have a physique like that? Should I have a mindset like that? Should I have clothes like that? Should I be able to drive a car like that? Should I have a marriage that's that good? No more are we going to, because that's all the nonsense that we hear around us. No more are we going to say, why me? From here on out, it's why not me? Why not me? I'm going to share with you a quick little story. It was so impactful for me this week, and I'm not going to tell you who he is because you all know who he is. And I haven't had a conversation with him to ask if it's okay. But I was having a conversation with this guy, and he was telling me that he did something a little bit different. He decided that he was going to target the X listings of the number one agent in the marketplace. And he had admitted that he didn't know why, but he hadn't been targeting this person. In fact, he might have actually been sort of going away from it. He might have actually been avoiding it for conscious or subconscious reasons, but he did it. But he had a conversation with somebody that literally just put the fire in him, and he made the personal decision to do the hard thing. And do you know what happened? He took a listing that had been on the market for 4 years for $2.5 million. It had been listed by 3 of the top 5 agents in the marketplace. He took the listing, he did a CB3, he did all of the aggressive marketing that we talk so much about. He went out and he negotiated, and he sold that property in 10 days. He's got a backup offer on it. Personal responsibility. He got himself in an area that he was not comfortable with, but personal responsibility. He said, you know what? Why not me? So as you go into the weekend, ask yourself the question, why not you? Why not you? Have an amazing day.